What if the winner of the 2026 World Cup is not Argentina, France, or Brazil? What if the team lifting the trophy turns out to be Spain? Over the past few years, La Roja has quietly transformed into one of the most frightening teams in world football. They arrive as European champions, boasting an extraordinary young generation led by Lamine Yamal, along with a style of play that is far faster and more lethal than in previous eras. What makes Spain even more intriguing is that they are not dependent on a single player. From Rodri in midfield to Pedri as the creative force to Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal on the wings, they possess quality and depth in almost every position. It is no surprise that many analysts are now placing Spain among the strongest contenders to become world champions in 2026. So in today's video, we are going to discuss why Spain could win the 2026 World Cup. Let's get started. The best generation since the era of Xavi and Iniesta. Spain once had a golden generation that changed the history of world football. Back then, the squad featured legendary names such as Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta, Iker Casillas, Sergio Ramos, Gerard Piqué, David Villa, and Sergio Busquets. That generation won UEFA Euro 2008, the 2010 FIFA World Cup, and UEFA Euro 2012 in remarkable succession. For many years, people believed that such a generation would never be repeated. However, as the 2026 World Cup approaches, the football world is beginning to realize that Spain may be experiencing the same phenomenon for a second time. They possess elite young talent across every area of the pitch, from Lamine Yamal in attack to Pedri and Gavi in midfield and Pau Cubarsí in defense. Despite their young age, many of them already have the experience of seasoned veterans after competing at the highest level of European football since their teenage years. What makes this generation different is the combination of talent and experience. Young teams often struggle with consistency, but Spain's emerging stars are already accustomed to performing under immense pressure. Pedri has been a key player for both Barcelona and the national team for years. Gavi has already played and won major matches. Cubarsí is widely regarded as one of the most promising young defenders in world football. Meanwhile, Lamine Yamal has become a global football icon before even turning 20. While many nations still rely heavily on aging veterans whose best years may be behind them, Spain enters the World Cup with a squad whose core players have not yet reached their peak. That means the football world may be witnessing the beginning of a new dynasty capable of dominating international football for years to come. Rodri is the most important player at the 2026 World Cup. When people talk about Spain, attention usually shifts immediately toward Lamine Yamal. However, from a tactical perspective, the most important player in this squad is Rodri. He is not the type of footballer who regularly appears in highlight reels because he rarely performs flashy dribbles or scores spectacular goals every week. Yet almost Spain's entire playing system is built around him. When Spain builds attacks from the back, Rodri is the starting point of distribution. When opponents apply pressure, Rodri is the player responsible for breaking that press. When possession is lost, he is the first player to close down space and stop counterattacks. His influence is so significant that many analysts consider him the perfect successor to Sergio Busquets. What makes Spain even more intimidating is the fact that Rodri is far from alone. Around him are Pedri, Fabián Ruiz, Gavi, Dani Olmo, Mikel Merino, and Martín Zubimendi. This may well be the deepest midfield unit in the entire tournament. If one player gets injured, the quality of his replacement does not drop dramatically. Spain no longer relies on a single individual. Their system is capable of maintaining a high level of performance under a variety of circumstances. In a long tournament such as the World Cup, the ability to sustain excellence over 7 matches is often more important than having one superstar who occasionally delivers moments of brilliance. Lamine Yamal could become the player of the tournament. Throughout World Cup history, there is always one young player who becomes the face of the tournament. Pelé did it in 1958, Kylian Mbappé did it in 2018, and now many believe it is Lamine Yamal's turn to take center stage. Despite his young age, he has already established himself as one of the most dangerous players in world football. His pace is extraordinary, his dribbling ability is elite, his vision is remarkably mature, and perhaps most frightening of all is his composure in crucial moments. Many young players possess immense talent talent but struggle to cope with pressure. Yamal seems to become even more comfortable as the stakes get higher. That is why many observers view him as a potential superstar of the 2026 World Cup. There have been concerns regarding his physical condition after suffering a hamstring injury before the tournament. However, Spain manager Luis de la Fuente has delivered positive updates, stating that Yamal's recovery is progressing faster than expected. Even if his minutes are carefully managed during the group stage, his presence alone remains a major threat to every opponent. What is particularly interesting is that Spain does not place all its hopes on Yamal. On the opposite wing stands Nico Williams, who is equally dangerous in one-on-one situations. Together, they provide Spain with something that was largely absent during the classic tiki-taka era: explosive pace and direct attacking threat. If Yamal reaches his best form during the tournament, it would not be surprising to see him finish the World Cup holding the Player of the Tournament award. The absence of Real Madrid players could actually be an advantage. This may sound controversial. For decades, Real Madrid players formed the backbone of the Spanish national team. From Iker Casillas to Sergio Ramos, from Xabi Alonso to Dani Carvajal, there was almost always a Madrid player serving as a leader in the La Roja dressing room. However, at the 2026 World Cup, Spain arrives without a single Real Madrid player in the squad. The decision has sparked intense debate across football media and fan communities. Many supporters were shocked, some were angry, and others were curious to see whether Luis de la Fuente's bold choice would ultimately backfire. Yet the Spanish coach appears to have a very clear rationale. He selects players based on tactical requirements rather than reputation, status, or club affiliation. Ironically, that may be one of the reasons Spain's chemistry appears so strong. Many of the squad's core players have grown up together and played alongside one another since youth level. The foundation of the team has been built around players from Barcelona, Athletic Club, Arsenal, and several other clubs that have long been part of De La Fuente's project. Even across social media and football forums, many neutral supporters view this decision as proof that squad selection is based on performance rather than prestige. The football community has also praised De La Fuente's willingness to remain loyal to the identity and playing style that helped him guide Spain to European Championship success. In a short tournament, team cohesion often proves more valuable than a collection of talented individuals who have yet to fully gel together. Spain has already proven it can be the best team in Europe. Many World Cup favorites look impressive only on paper. Spain, however, possesses something that many of their rivals do not: proof. They arrive in North America as the reigning UEFA Euro 2024 champions. They did not win that tournament through luck or an easy path. They defeated Europe's elite teams and demonstrated consistent quality from start to finish. Their success was the result of a long-term process built by Luis de la Fuente, who had worked with Spain's youth teams for years before taking charge of the senior squad. He knows nearly every key player personally from their teenage years and understands exactly how to maximize their potential. This is why Spain's football appears so organized, structured, and mature compared to many of their competitors. What strengthens their chances even further is the depth of the squad. In World Cups, champions are usually not the teams with the best starting 11, but the teams with 26 players who are ready to contribute at any moment. Spain possesses that luxury. They can rotate players without losing their identity. They have tactical flexibility, championship experience, and a winning mentality that has already been tested at the highest level. Many international media outlets have even ranked them among the favorites before the tournament begins. Compared to Argentina, which still relies heavily on several veteran players, or Brazil, which continues to search for consistency, Spain appears to be the most complete team in almost every aspect. That is why more and more people are beginning to believe that the 2026 World Cup trophy could end up in the hands of La Roja. The World Cup is always full of surprises, but based on the quality of their squad, the depth of their talent, and their performances over the past few years, Spain possesses every ingredient required to become world champions. They have the best young generation since the golden era of 2010 and arrive with tremendous confidence after achieving success on the European stage. Of course, Argentina, France, Brazil, and England remain formidable contenders. However, if Lamine Yamal, Rodri, Pedri, and Nico Williams perform at their highest level, there is every chance that the 2026 World Cup will become the stage for Spain's return as the new king of world football. So, what do you think? Will Spain really become the champions of the 2026 World Cup? Or do Argentina, Brazil, France, and England still deserve to be considered the favorites? Share your prediction in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Throughout the 2026 World Cup, we will cover every major story, controversy, and surprise from the biggest football tournament on the planet.